and Monster. If I pronounced anyone's name wrong, I'm sorry, and please forgive me. I'm trying. Alright, so we're in the draft now, and Thundercats opted for first pick. So, expect stuff like Invoker, Gyrocopter, Doom, Slardar, Shadow Fiend even. They're very popular bans, very common bans. These heroes are just popular right now, so it's not all that surprising when we see them get banned out.
5 seconds remaining.
They're taking a little bit of time, maybe trying to figure out what they want to take out first, maybe strategize like, hey, we're first pick, we can leave Invoker in the pool and then take him up right away. Or maybe they just don't want to play Invoker and don't want to play against it, so they're just going to ban it out. Or maybe deny Byutiful.Doto a ban by forcing them to ban it. So to take out the Witch Doctor, who actually is the third most popular hero in the 82L. The most popular is Vengeful Spirit, second most popular is Dazzle. Invoker is the most contested though, with a 93% pick plus ban rate. So in 93% of games in 82L, you will see Invoker picked or banned this season, that is, in Season 10.
5 seconds
So,
remaining.
definitely expecting an Invoker, unless this is one of those 7% of games where Invoker is not picked or banned. Night Stalker taken out, and this hero can really create a lot of space for his team, and it's just, once nighttime hits, it's almost like having a bounty hunter. Just always a threat, and you just always have to be afraid, and when you have Night Stalker, it's a lot easier to win the vision war, and that can be really meaningful in some matchups. Especially matchups that want to take Roche early. So Silencer gone, really annoying here to play and play against, and really disruptive to a combo team. Like if you're trying to chain stun or chain up your spells, or like your Dark's just trying to blink vac wall, then it's not going to work. So I think these bans are pretty understandable, pretty justifiable, and Thundercats now picking. There's still Gyrocopter and Vengeful Spirit in the pool. Two very, very potent, very, very popular heroes, and if they were more leaning towards the more meta heroes, you've got Chen and Enchantress, but they actually go with the Faceless Void instead. I like this hero. It's if they play it as an offlane, I think it's going to be very strong, because it's just so hard to zone him out. He can trade really hard with you and just control the fights really easy, like really well for his team with Time Dilation and Chronosphere. And Byutiful.Doto pick up the Gyrocopter, which is a really solid pick. It's just a good hero. I mean, I can't really think of a lineup where it's like, yeah, Gyro would be terrible this game, but he's just a decent hero, and thus we see him, and he's been viable for months and months now. It's going to take a long time before people stop looking at him, I think.
10 seconds remaining.
So they go with the Phoenix, which I actually think is pretty good against Void, and that could actually be why they wanted to ban the Silencer, because if he gets hit by Last Word and tries to swoop, he gets stuck. But they grab Skywrath, which is the quick cheese. So Thundercats doing the old TI4 first pick Faceless Void and Skywrath Mage strat, and it's a good combo. So once these two heroes hit level 6, you can expect a lot of kills happen. You can expect to see Thundercats attempting a lot of kills on the map. But as I was saying, Phoenix is pretty good against the Void. I think if you hit him with the attack speed slow with Fire Spirits inside Chronosphere, that's really, really devastating. And if Phoenix isn't caught in it, he can laser to heal up his teammate. Phoenix is it's a decent response, but Skywrath Mage I actually really like here. It's just a really good hero. Up against, like with the Void, it's got value, and against the Phoenix, it's good as well. If you silence the swoop or silence him when he's trying to get in position for a supernova, then you really shut down a lot of that hero's usefulness. So, and Treant Protector banned out. I think that's a little interesting, but it is a very annoying hero to play against. It makes it a lot harder to go for kills. So if Thundercats want to get aggressive, Treant is a good ban, because his living armor being global makes it pretty difficult to find some kills early in the game. So I'm guessing that's what they're thinking of. And we've still got heroes like Vengeful Spirit and Dazzle in the pool. I expect at least one of them to be picked up or banned in this game. And again, if they're following like competitive trends, higher level competitive. Chen, Enchantress, even Ancient Apparition, very popular. Oracle is somewhat similar to the Dazzle, and it's a very defensive support, but very popular lately.
10 seconds remaining.
So Queen of Pain banned out.
5 seconds
It would have been pretty good with the Faceless Void combo, I think, and if Skywrath Mage ganks for her, it's almost a guaranteed kill with his silence and slow plus dagger and just her massive amount of burst damage. So fair ban, and Ember Spirit taken out, Wind Ranger also taken out. So 3 mid heroes, or I guess Ember and Quap could safe lane, but 3 core heroes removed, and they're all pretty annoying heroes actually. Kind of hard to kill, kind of hard to lock down, and lots of damage output. So it's Beautiful.Doto's turn to pick, and I think they need something more to deal with the Void inside the Chrono. Like, maybe get a support like Shadow Demon, banish the Void, or probably better to banish your teammate, just so your teammate, if there's only one teammate caught in it, banish your teammate so that they don't get beat up inside the Chronosphere. And there's Slardar, which actually Void, I don't quite remember his base armor. I'm going to make it as quickly as I possibly can, look up his base armor, and Slardar, Void, Faceless, Void. So it's Thundercats' turn to pick, and I clicked on a thing. So Faceless Void has base armor of 1. So in New Void, you don't really build a lot of Agi items, and they could play it as a carry, but really the popularized build is you go probably Poor Man's Shield just to lane up better, plus Vladimir's offering like Blink Dagger, Iron Talon, so you can jump. You go like a lot of them go Iron Talon, Blink Dagger, Vlad's Ags. But here's Death Prophet, which also just synergizes really well with the Faceless Void Chronosphere. Her spirits are going to be eating people alive inside the anyone who gets caught in Chronosphere is basically dead. Lots of follow-up damage, but again, Thundercats draft seeming something that's right out of TI4. But Slardar here, if none of these heroes have very high base armor, and with the Gyrocopter, they have a lot of physical damage. But I think, yeah, I would really like to see Beautiful.Doto pick up Vengeful Spirit. First, they can save if their Gyro gets chronoed, they can swap him to safety, and it'll probably be at the sacrifice of the Venge, but keeping the Gyro alive is going to be critical and very, very difficult up against Thundercats' team, especially once the Faceless Void, if he does choose to go the more off-lane utility build, gets the Ags. And actually there's a Pudge, which honestly could serve a lot of the same purpose. You can hook his teammates or even hook the Void out of the Chronosphere, so I really like that pick, and these are some squishy heroes on Thundercats. Again, however, if he is dismembering, he might get himself blown up pretty quick. So Thundercats looking for probably their 1 position, unless the Void actually ends up. I guess the Void could play carry, but again, I would really prefer to see it in the offlane utility build, because they have a lot of follow-up for Chronosphere, so, because the cooldown on Mystic Flare is not that long, and if he gets the Ags, the Chronosphere is on 60 seconds. So you just chrono, and I don't really know what to get after that, but it's such a cheap build. You can, just in terms of cost, like you can get the Blink, the Vlads, the Iron Talon, the Ags in, I think a reasonable time for all of that is like roughly 30 minutes, but should be before that if they farm efficiently. And I think my fear is if the Void does go carry, there's just so many ways for them to kill him, since they changed how he doesn't have backtrack anymore. So if they get locked down, and there's the Oracle, a very popular pick, and actually this leads me to believe the Void will be the carry, because now there's going to be no way for them to kill him inside Chronosphere. With False Promise slapped on him, like there's it's going to be pretty difficult to kill him, especially if he can time walk away. So they pick up their defensive support, and I think that's pretty important. because right now they have no way to save their teammates, I guess. They have no way to, like, secure their farm up against such an aggressive lineup from Byutiful.Doto. I mean, Gyrocopter is a laning beast, Slardar and Pudge, and this Pudge could be mid, but could also be support. That's something that's been somewhat popular lately, and Phoenix could be offlane or support, and I feel like it's going to be more likely that he's support, just because they already have Slardar. And Spectre banned out, and this hero has become very, very popular recently, with two variations in the build. Either they go just typical Radiance that you see on Spectre, followed by like Manta, then Scotty or Butterfly, that kind of thing, or they go Drums, Diffusal, Manta, and completely ignore Radiance and just take a mid-gamey pick-off oriented build. So TA, the last ban from Thundercats, which kind of surprises me, but I guess they already have their mid. But because Thundercats, I know Snarf, I believe, plays the Templar Assassin. So, but they do have their mid, and I think Byutiful.Doto are actually looking for their mid. I'm curious. I think their support duo might actually be Phoenix and Pudge. And depending on what the offlane of Thundercats is going to be, I think it might even be viable to run a tri-lane. Excuse me. To run a tri-lane if you're Byutiful.Doto that consists of Pudge, Slardar, Phoenix, and just try to run that as a tri-lane in the offlane up against Thundercats' safe lane, so up against the Faceless Void or whichever carry they end up picking, because the Void may again be offlane, and just try to kill him. Because of Skywrath Mage, because this prevents Skywrath Mage from rotating against an aggro try, because he knows if he leaves, then his core, whoever he's with, could die. So you force their carries there, and there's Phantom Assassin, who I think is going to have a really hard time in this game. Oracle is good against her with his disarm. Death Prophet really good against her. Skywrath Mage, so much magic damage, and Faceless Void locking her down in the Chronosphere, but the evasion will keep her alive from Void's auto attacks. However, thanks to Skywrath Mage and Death Prophet, she's going to get eaten alive by all this spell damage. So I could see it, because there are some very squishy heroes on Thundercats. So if this PA is able to get ahead, she's gonna do some work. But I'm just a little worried for their prospects going into team fights here. And with the Gyrocopter, I think this PA is actually probably, let's see, I think it's gonna be their mid, or even running an aggro try. Oh, there's Ursa, and I actually think I really like that hero. It's really good against Phoenix Egg. Just overpower and rip the egg up, especially early game when it only takes 4 hits to kill the egg. Ursa can just walk up to the egg and just kill it instantly. Just kill it. So excited to see this game, and I think if I were to choose a draft that I favor, I think I favor Thundercats. I think this PA is going to have a really hard time accomplishing what she really wants to. I think Thundercats have better lanes and better team fight, but if it goes really late, Byutiful.Doto have the better lineup. Slardar skills great, and actually one thing that Byutiful.Doto are going to have to do to keep in this game is deny the Roche advantage to Thundercats, because they also have a pretty fast Roshing lineup with the Slardar amp damage. Get like a medallion on one of your heroes, possibly the Phoenix if you needed it, or the PA I guess could also do it. So looking forward to this game. And lastly, my closing thoughts on the draft is I actually modestly favor Thundercats. Not a slight favor, but I could see Byutiful snowballing out of control with their lineup. So quick introductions. We've got Check playing the Ursa on Thundercats, Ribs on Oracle, Madkiss playing Skywrath Mage, Fleb playing Death Prophet, and Snarf is actually playing the offline Void. Kentaro is playing, on the side of Byutiful.Doto, Kentaro is playing Phantom Assassin, Zero playing Pudge, Senpai on the Phoenix, Hope on the Gyrocopter, and KFYX on Slardar. So looks like both teams trying to secure a rune for their mid lane. This is something that happens a lot. Both teams will just secure one of the runes and just to get their mid a head start. Slardar being spotted out. And Void going to scout the rune. I don't think he can get this. So looking at starting items, there's a Sentry Ward on Oracle, which is pretty interesting. I guess they could just... They're probably holding on to that to try to de-ward whatever Slardar puts down. But I don't think they'll find this, and this is an okay ward, and let's actually see what that sees. Oh, I apologize, that's the wrong button. So, that sees just... So it's a decent ward. And it looks like there's a bit of a problem considering this. Yeah, this is irrelevant. This is not a best of 3. This is a best of 2 group stage amateur Dota 2 league. So this is pretty low. This is, I think the average MMR for these teams is around 3.5k, both of these teams. So amateur Dota 2 league, amateur cast. And oh, I got to turn on the vision, but I was just scouting what that ward was seeing, and it's a decent ward. It sees all of this and a little bit of this. So the lanes are actually going to be a tri-lane down here, and I'm really glad they did this instead of jungling the Ursa. I don't know how they're going to get the... I don't know if they're going to be able to get the Slardar, and this ward definitely already paying off. Just able to see when the supports are trying to get aggressive on him. Faceless Void might be in trouble, but there isn't really that much lockdown in this lane. He does have Time Walk available, and the hook misses, so really no way for him to die here. He's saving the Time Walk and uses it to heal up just a little bit. So both of these off lanes going to go pretty well for each team, and I think the safe lanes are going to get pretty much everything they want, honestly. Mid lane, I think this is a Death Prophet favored matchup because Soul Siphon is actually a really powerful spell right now, and once Death Prophet is all magic damage, she can trade with Crypt Swarm and Soul Siphon and get ahead. So here's Void getting zoned out again, eating up some Rocket Barrage, but once again, the value of Time Walk just healing him up. So Void is very safe, and I'm not really sure which lane. If a kill were to happen in any lane, I would actually say it would happen down here. Just they have way more damage. Slardar doesn't have Time Walk, and a little bit more control. Here, their only source of crowd control would be a hook. So Void is really has nothing to fear here. And actually pulling this creep. Rune being secured by the Oracle. This is actually might hurt PA a little bit. She doesn't have a bottle yet, so it's not that big a deal. Once bottles come out, it's more important that runes get denied from the opposing mid. Slardar being zoned out, and Faceless Void getting probably slightly more out of his off lane than the Slardar is, simply because he's able to be more aggressive. He can get away with it. The Slardar could be in trouble if he gets cut out by a Purge, because if he charges it forever, it's 2.5 seconds. Plus the Skywrath stun, slow silence. So the support's on the side of Beautiful, smoking up, and Death Prophet sitting in the river. She might not be able to see that they're coming, and she's not mobile like the Void. The Void doesn't have to worry about getting hooked. The Death Prophet, though, she's probably gonna go down here. No rotations, and unfortunately, she is going to be the first blood. So good smoke gank from Beautiful.Doto. It's unfortunate that happened, and PA definitely benefits from that. And now I think PA will be fine in this lane. Getting that kill, which will give her a bit of an XP lead, get her a bit of a gold lead, and she's going to be able to compete with this Death Prophet now, which is what she's going to need. And that kill actually got her boots. She had Bottle and Courier when the kill happened. So mid lane going to be very difficult here for this Death Prophet now, I think, who actually is still ahead in XP. That's very interesting. Did PA not get the bounty rune? No, she did. Interesting. She must just be getting zoned out by the Death Prophet, who maybe just has some denies. Yeah, the Death Prophet just has some denies, so shutting her down. And if we look at farm, though, despite that Death Prophet still almost 10 CS ahead of this Phantom Assassin. So she's definitely still faring very well in lane. It's like some pings coming back, and Skywrath Mage showing up, and I actually think he's spotted. Skywrath Mage needs to be careful. If he gets hooked, he could go down. Whoop. just slaughter. It looks like Ursa's alone here, and I actually think that's fine. I think it's good. I actually really like that the supports from both teams are kind of just leaving their carries alone, because they don't need to have supports with them. I mean, this Slardar is unless he gets 5 bashes in a row, is not going to be able to kill Ursa. And oh boy, a little skirmish happened mid that I missed out on. I apologize for that. I got a little sidetracked, but Naki Ring finished up on the gyrocopter. But yeah, the carries do not need to worry about dying up against whatever offlaner they're playing against. So Death Prophet has her team sitting behind her and her level 6 ready, so I'm waiting to see if she uses the Exorcism now or a little bit later. Because there's Fortify still up, and she may just want to try to bait out the Fortify with the regular push and then try to get a kill, get the tower. But Ursa actually really just trading very favorably with them, and there were 2 heroes, but the Ursa does not care at all. Which is, I think, a big problem with Beautiful's draft is their lack of reliable single target control. Really, their one reliable thing is Pudge's ult and Slithering Crush too, to be fair. But otherwise, their control is very limited. Whereas Thundercats, though not having very much hard control, do have a reliable slow, several silences. The Purge is actually pretty strong. The Chronosphere. And yes, the Root is slow, 2 slows, and 2 silences. So Thundercats definitely have better control, and that might play a factor in these fights break out, especially considering they really have nothing to deal with this Void unless this Pudge makes really good hooks. Interested to see what Faceless Void decides to buy as his first item. PA picking up the regen rune, and Death Prophet sitting with the bounty rune. Oracle standing behind her, making sure that no kills can happen on her, because while he's here, it's probably pretty safe for her, but he is rotating out, and Pudge was just mid, but is spotted out by the creep wave, so Death Prophet probably going to play a little more defensively and wait for him to go away.
Ours, not yours.
So these lanes, farm-wise, obviously a little bit better, clearly a little bit favoring Thundercats, with both Death Prophet and Ursa sitting at 38 CS. Death Prophet might be in trouble though, Pudge looking, but since she has her phase boots, he's not going to be able to find her. Phase's Void is level 6 and carrying a TP scroll, so we could definitely see a rotation to find some kills. Scarlet Mage still only level 3, but Death Prophet is 6, so they do have that synergy. The Death Prophet ult plus the Spirit Siphon does a pretty huge and ridiculous amount of damage, even at rank 1. Then again, Gyrocopter also level 6. Ursa, though, level 6 with a Morbid Mask and closing in on Vlad's if he doesn't already have it. I think he may actually have his Vlad's now, if he wanted it. Which means we might see a Roshan, and that's actually going to be... That actually means Void does not have to go the Vlad's. Void can just instead go for Smoke Up, and they're going... Are they going bot lane, or are they going like this? I think they're going to go towards bot, because the Ursa's alone. He does have his ultimate, though. Anyways... Ursa a little overextended. He's kind of far from his tower. Even if he's able to get... Even if his teammates are able to rotate in, he might be in trouble here. But immediately rotations come out. And just Ursa just tearing them apart. His ultimate takes no damage, and they weren't able to burst him down fast enough. So this could be a really bad fight for Beautiful. But it looks like they're just going to lose the Pudge for now. Unless, Pudge and Phoenix go down, and what looked like it could have been a good and really easy kill for Beautiful.Doto, but good rotations and good communication from Thundercats allowed them to save their Ursa, and this could just snowball out of control now. I mean, Ursa not dying there will be... Oh, and he decided to go for phase boots before he got his Vladimir's, which I think is fair, but he's walking right into the Roche pit. Do they know? No, Beautiful.Doto has no idea that this could be going on right now, and Death Prophet still with Exorcism and a Haste Rune, so if they try to defend it, if they try to contest this Roshan, they could just die.
Tower is under attack.
It's Roach dying very quickly, as is what happens with Ursa drafts, and Faceless Void showing on the map, but too late for eating his mango to pick up his Aegis. And so that gives some more. If we look at hero level, yes, there's a huge level. If we look at the XP graph, there's a huge advantage building for Thundercats. Gold, the Roshan gave them a pretty good jump. So, but now Gyrocopter actually climbed to the top of the last hits, and looks like there are 3 heroes hanging out up here at top lane and trying to pressure the Faceless Void. But unfortunately, until the Pudge hits level 6, I just don't think they really have the damage to kill him. They would have to kill him within like seconds, just seconds of him. Like, he would have to die during the hook basically to actually go down. Death Prophet with haste still up and an invis rune on her. See if she tries to make a play up here, and she is going to try to get a kill up here top, and it could be very costly if the Gyrocopter dies. I think since Thundercats have the draft advantage, Byutiful.Doto just can't afford to lose heroes early in the game. Like, if this Gyro dies before he gets his probably S and Y after his helm, he could be in real trouble. And Skywrath Mage still level 5, but Death Prophet ready to go. I wonder if they got scouted out by a ward. Maybe they just saw the 2 heroes coming up. They know Death Prophet's missing, so very good defensive play from Byutiful.Doto, making sure none of the heroes get picked off, and what would be a pretty easy kill for Thundercats if they did get the jump, since Chronosphere is ready. Skywrath Mage still only about halfway to level 6, and once he gets that, though, the kill potential of Thundercats goes up exponentially. Gyrocopter bringing that Band of Elven Skin to himself. Are they going to dedicate the Chronosphere for this, or are they just going to try to zone out the heroes?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
There's someone rotating in, but oh, unfortunately the Skywrath Mage just dies almost immediately. The defensive Chronosphere should prevent any more kills from happening, although the Oracle is out of position and gonna get crushed, so Oracle will be the sacrifice, but good Force Staff play. Wait, was that a Force Staff? Good play from the Slardar, but Death Prophet is going to get a kill. Her ult just timing out. Now with Skywrath Mage TPing back in, and oh, really good hook. But Death Prophet taking down the Gyrocopter, so far I'm really not sure who this trade favors, but it's definitely going to favor Thundercats now that the Pudge is going to go down, and TA on the retreat. So good rotations from both teams, and good play from the Slardar making those kills happen, and good hooks from the Pudge making sure that the Void doesn't get away. But this was a very even fight, although it does actually look like it ends up favoring Byutiful.Doto, but it may not if this tower goes down. Ursa with Blink Dagger ready. Looks like he wants to go on this PA, and is his team going to try to follow him? No, unfortunately he does not get to slow the PA, and she's going to be able to walk away. And with this Arcane Rune, he's actually going to be able to throw out quite a few daggers, but Ursa does have the Aegis, and Oracle has his ult, so they'll find it very difficult to kill this Ursa. Pudge is here now, and Chronosphere is still on cooldown. Looks like both teams just grouped up with Phoenix not here, but it could be bad, and they are scouted out though. The Oracle Purge going out, and it's going to hit the Pudge, and call down, gonna hit on 3 heroes actually. No Death Prophet ult and no Chronosphere, so this could be very bad, but maybe PA made a mistake jumping in, and she's gonna go down very quickly. Death Prophet just got her Eul's Botcher in the middle of the fight, and now Phoenix shows up. Supernova's there, but unfortunately Oracle, just 2 more hits, and the Ursa is gonna get stunned, but he does still have the Aegis, so he's going to come back regardless. But Death Prophet goes down to the Gyrocopter, and this fight is taking a very long time to go, and Oracle dies. Ursa's back up, but blinked away to try to get to safety. Time Walk cooling down, and no Blink Dagger on Slardar, so a very, very, very favorable fight for Byutiful.Doto, and I really think Thundercats are getting a little ahead of themselves. They don't need to fight right now. They can just wait till they get whatever item the Void's going for, finish Vlad's, and maybe even BKB on the Ursa, get their next item on their Death Prophet, get Mystic Flare on their Skywrath Mage, and then just take the fight slowly. One thing, because I think they will have the better 5-man. And they fought without cooldowns there too, which was very, very dangerous. And even though they had the Aegis, they had no Chrono, they had no Exorcism, there is no Mystic Flare. They only had the False Promise, which I don't think is really enough. They need to have their spell combos. Because a lot of their lineup feels like it hinges around the usage of the Faceless Void. Ursa just speeding up this tower. He has an illusion rune, but he does not have Aegis. Kind of surprised Slardar is not trying to kill him. But no rotations. Or Death Prophet going down very quickly in the mid lane, getting hooked. And I think if Byutiful.Doto snowball like this, if they continue this, since the PA is very, very close to a Battle Fury, then they're going to win the game. If they, I don't think though, at any point Byutiful.Doto will be able to win a real 5v5 where both teams have their cooldowns up, just because the 5v5 of Thundercats is so strong with the just the Chronosphere plus Exorcism makes it very difficult, and Faceless Void claiming a tower top for his team, and he is going to Vlad, so Ursa may not go it in the end. Maybe a bit of a communication error since Ursa does have the Ring of Aquila, but I suppose Ursa could go Helm of the Dominators, unless this is a UAM. Fierce Waves is not a UAM. So he could go Helm of the Dominator, dominate like an Alpha Wolf or something, get some damage. Skywrath Mage trying to find his level 8, and Slardar farming up this stack here. That'll be a pretty good boost of gold for him, and PA grabbing a haste rune. Byutiful.Doto still have 3 heroes sitting in the mid, and I want to see if I can pull up net worth. Gyrocopter sitting at top, Death Prophet just behind the PA, and Ursa just behind the Gyro, so very close game gold-wise. Pretty much a non-existent gold lead, but XP lead might be a slightly different story. Nope, just same thing. Both teams very, very close to each other, so... And I think this is, despite how good it's looked for Byutiful.Doto, I think they need to be ahead to win this game. Because, just because the spells on Thundercats offer just very good control and very good team fighting. So it's going to be difficult for Byutiful to take like a real 5v5 team fight. Looks like this top tower is going to go down unless Void wants to devote his Chronosphere to it. But actually, it looks like it's going to be denied. Gyrocopter backs off, probably afraid of a Chrono and then getting rotated on. So, good jump from Thundercats denying that tower. And Slardar trying to get his Blink Dagger, about 400 gold away, so he needs to be careful not to die. And if any of Thundercats' heroes come here, they will scout out this ward, and that could be pretty annoying if you're Byutiful. They need all the information they can get so they can get pickoffs. It's really important when you have a Pudge, and like a Slardar, and like a PA on your team, heroes that need to be snowballing and getting kills. It's important to have really good vision, and actually it looks like they're going to end up with 2 Vlads, so a little odd, but they're going to have to get away from this. Good defensive Yules. Unfortunately, Snarf going to get stunned up, but PA might be in trouble. No Death Prophet ult. She has no mana since she had to Yules herself. And Rocket Barrage, or Phoenix Burn going to take down... Phoenix, actually, the laser taking down the Oracle, and the Burn taking down the Skywrath Mage. So, but Death Prophet needs to be careful. She's very low now, and Ursa ult still available, but Death Prophet just immediately getting critted down. And now they need to get out of here. Ursa is getting a double kill, but this PA is doing a lot of damage, and if they're going to lose to Ursa, this isn't going to be worth it. The Gyrocopter just going to get a return kill, and Void needs to run away. He's in serious danger now, but no dagger for 13 seconds thanks to the time dilation, and another really, really bad fight for Thundercats. They're just taking these... When the Skywrath died and the Oracle died, I think that's when they should have backed off. That was really when they should have been like, okay, we don't have our support. We need to get out of here. Because then they didn't have the Mystic Flare, they didn't have the Oracle ult, which was on cooldown anyway, but they didn't have Purifying Flames for nuke damage, they didn't have Fate's Edict, they didn't have Fortune's End, they didn't have any of Oracle's abilities, so they lost all of their control, and now PA has a Battle Fury, and it's not a terribly timed one either. We could definitely see her take over this entire game. Although BKB will not save her as much as in other games. Like with a BKB on the PA, it'll stop the Skywrath, but Ursa will really still hurt her. She's still gonna get Chrono, and at Death Prophet ult's still gonna work. So we'll see if that ends up working out. If that ends up actually being her item, but now Gyrocopter gets his S and Y, and he's had a fantastic game. And now both cores on Beautiful just ahead of Thundercats. With Hope and Kotaro, I believe. Kentaro, not Kotaro, playing very well this game and snowballing pretty hard. Both their scores very good. Both 5-1. So with cores this far ahead, they might not even have to worry about having the slightly weaker draft in team fights. They just might snowball out of control and win. The regen rune, and the regen rune replaced a DD here, so PA probably going to be a little salty about losing out the DD. Probably tricking a creep, and I expect him to go Aether Lens next. I mean, it's a cheap and very effective item, and I'd rather see support Pudges go Aether Lens before Blink. I think this is really unfortunate that they have two Vlads. It's a very, very slight efficiency issue. Oh, Void's gonna get hooked. But thanks to the new Time Walk, able to get away. Ursa blinking forward, but unfortunately no follow-up, no control. So not gonna be able to find any kills. Blink Dagger now on the Slardar, and that's gonna make it a lot easier for Beautiful to win these fights, I think. Just good Chronosphere, and PA immediately blown up by their combo. Death Prophet going in on the gyro, but now her ult has been devoted. But I think this Void should be fine. PA actually buying back, and I think if you're Thundercats, you just bail now and just be happy with how this ended up. Void's Chrono on cooldown. Death Prophet ult still going, but she might be in trouble here. Lots of damage going out, and they're going in. Ursa's still fairly healthy, but Void gonna go down underneath the tower. Blink Dagger cooling down in just 1 second. That was a dieback from the TA, dead for 60, and that's really bad. Really well played from Thundercats, taking exactly the fight they need to swing the game back in their favor. Huge gold loss on the PA, and I think she's lost pretty much all of her momentum now. Dead for a minute, no farm there, bought back, lost a ton of gold doing that, and she just has no momentum, and Thundercats look right into the Roche pit, knowing that there's no way it can be contested. Taking a T1 in Roche, Thundercats going to swing the gold graph right back in their favor. That was a 4k gold shift just about from the tower, and with Roche, definitely at least 4k, so really well, like Thundercats doing a good job recovering despite what looked pretty bad at first, but see if Phoenix tries to get a swoop steal. They have to be quick, there is Hook, but he does get the Aegis, and he's probably going to lose it. Really unfortunate, but his team should be able to rotate in and maybe save him. Death Prophet silence thrown out, but Ursa gonna just go down immediately. He pops his ult and tries to find a kill, but unfortunately stunned for the full duration. And good job from Beautiful making sure that wasn't a complete loss, but Sniffsnarf might be in a little trouble now, but Time Lock and he's off to safety. So I'm curious, I wonder if this is going to be his Ags or if he's going BKB, because I would rather see the Ags. They don't have that much control, so I think Ags would be the better choice just for the ult. Oh, but thanks to the silence, unable to get the crush. PA getting hit very, very hard, but I think got hit by Fate's Edict at the same time as the Skywrath, though. Really unfortunate, but she goes down in the end anyway. The laser doing some work. Time dilation comes out. No rocket barrage for a very long time, but Void might go down anyway unless he's able to jump away. Barely surviving, but he might go down still. No hook for 5 seconds, and but Slardar doing a lot of work bringing down these heroes, and it looks like Void will go down in the end. Time dilation earned up. He's gone. And a good fight for Beautiful, but Ursa's here to clean up. They lose the Phoenix. Ursa does get stunned, so it should be done here. There's no blink for a while, and that should be good. And Death Prophet going for a Radavatos, perhaps. I like that. Kite the PA, kite the Slardar too. So this gold graph dipping right back down towards Beautiful, and I think Thundercats should just wait. Again, I feel like if they, just like what we saw happen in mid lane, if they wait and get their combo right, they're going to win the team fight, no matter what happens. And I think they just
Dire's bottom
wait till, I think, her Atos, if that's what she's going for. Scarlet Mage, whatever, doesn't matter really. Till his BKB is finished, he's very close. And Void, I'm not sure what he's getting. I would like to see Ags so that he can ult more, and they can, because if Chronosphere is up more, then he can fight more. And I actually think Death Prophet really needs to go in Octarine Core after whatever it is she's starting now. Ursa just farming up the jungle, trying to finish his BKB. Really unfortunate that he died right after getting the Aegis, but well played from Beautiful doing that. I actually would have rather, instead of the Roche, they take this T1, because then they can't TP in and contest the Roche like they did. And it would have been safer, I guess, because that T1 was basically dead. Force out Fortify, pop it, then just take one more fight, then get Roche after. Yeah, Death Prophet has finished her Atos. Ursa should be finishing his BKB very, very soon. So their core items are soon, and I would really prefer they not fight until they finish their next items. Well, I guess they could fight without the Ags or BKB or whatever it is, or Halberd even, could be what Void is going. The PA is going to be a problem, so Halberd could work, but Gyro getting very ahead and playing a very good game. And probably going to go BKB of his own, but again, I don't think that's going to really save anyone. Just because they have Exorcism. Yeah, Gyro extremely close to BKB, and Beautiful also should not take a fight while waiting for this BKB to come up, because if they do, Gyro could get caught in the chrono and just die.
radiant structures are fortified.
It's like Dire are gonna, looks like Beautiful are gonna find themselves this free tower, so a nice little boost to gold for them. Regen for Gyro. I don't know how much that regen, but deny it from the heroes on.
Bottom tower has been denied.
Deny it from the heroes of Thundercats, and Ursa getting a deny on that bot tower. He only needs about 150 gold, 175 gold for his BKB, and once he gets that, it'll be a lot harder for him to deal with him. Thought Arc Crush doesn't work, Punch Hook still works, and Dismember also does, but suddenly his attack speed can't be slowed. He can't be damaged by laser. Supernova, no damage. The egg is just gonna melt. Oh, but Ursa might walk into a death trap here. Oh, and this is gonna be really a quick death on the Ursa, but actually the Slardar might die too. Unfortunately, Ursa caught out from a good smoke rotation from Beautiful.Doto, and that's gonna put him pretty far away from his BKB, and he really needed it, so. Oh, but he teleports out, and Death Prophet ult expended. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to find anything with it. No Roshan, down for 135 seconds, and all the while, PA just farming top lane, getting ever closer to her BKB, and Gyro also only 300 gold away.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, Gyro with his BKB now, this could really damage the momentum of Thundercats. In fact, I think... Yeah, Goldcraft is nullified again, and it's all over the place this game. Let's see if XP tells a similar story. Yeah, both XP and Gold going back and forth, and now Pudge has Aether Lens, so that hook can get from just a ridiculous range away. I believe it is 1,500 range hooks. So he can hook from very far and save teammates inside Chronosphere. Which I think is going to be what he has to do if PA or Gyro get caught in the chrono. He has to hook them to safety. Especially if they don't get their BKB off before they get hooked. Ursa now only a couple last hits from his BKB. Let's hope he doesn't get picked off again. That'd be really, really devastating. If he had his BKB when they jumped him and been able to pop it, he would have survived. And his team could have rotated, and it could have been a really favorable fight for them. So I think the BKB coming out is very good, and Void is going to go 1-2, so not a bad choice. PA farming the Radiant Ancients. No respect there, TPing out. Not going to risk getting jumped, but TP bot and just split farm the map. So she wants to wait to fight till she gets her BKB. Versus BKB now online, and faces Void only a few hundred gold away. Actually, Thundercats denied all of their tier 1 towers this game, so well played from them. Let's see if See, PA was doing very well, but has now fallen off very hard. Gyrocopter, though, still performing extremely well. I think PA is now actually ahead of the cores on Thundercats, but one bad team fight could really change it, because she's only very slightly ahead of this Death Prophet. Force Staff now completed on the Slardar. Scarf Mage going for Aether Lens or Glimmer Cloak? He could be going Aether Lens because he can disassemble his Arcane Boots, but I think Skywrath should hold on to the Arcane. BKB down on the Ursa. Death Prophet, I would like to see this be Octarine Core. I think Octarine Core would be a lot better. Her ult uptime the ult cooldown goes to 108 seconds. And that means the downtime on the ult is only like 65, 75 seconds, 70 seconds, 73 seconds. So that means she can ult for almost every, not like every tower obviously, but they can take a tier 1 back off, do Roche, and then have her ult back up for the T2 push. Oh, Snarf caught out, but thanks to the new Time Walk, able to get away despite being so close to death.
I thank you.
Slardar blinking away. PA off on the wings and just gonna throw her dagger and back out. Hook misses, and now that both teams have completed all their core items, or all their new items, it looks like they're gonna be trying for something. There's Gyrocopter. BKB's out, and very good pop of his BKB, but if I were Thundercats, I'd be happy just popping out his BKB to back off. The Skywrath ult's cooldown is not that long. It's definitely not as long as BKB's cooldown, so that's something to be happy about. Skywrath Mage getting harassed by daggers. And Phoenix, oh, good two-man crush from the Slardar, but is it going to be enough? And Skywrath Mage quickly going down to a hook on the back, and unfortunately, no kills for Thundercats, and this board here actually going to scout out all of their movement. Good Chronosphere catching 3 heroes, and even though isolating the Gyrocopter outside the Chrono. Ursa blinking in and trying to chunk away at this Phoenix Egg, but not quite going to get it, and now he's in trouble. And while that's happening, the PA, but she is slowed, and Death Prophet does, so PA goes down, and good play so far from the Death Prophet. Her ult doing a lot of damage. BKB popped on Snarf, and this is going to be a good fight so far for Thundercats. The Phoenix ult expended. The Atos doing, just paying off in dividends. I mean, she's used that thing so much, just so much efficiency. Death Prophet and Faceless Void saving the fight with a fantastic Chrono. Completely just, Gyrocopter basically had to fight 1v3 because all of his support got caught in the Chronosphere right here. And even though Snarf wasn't able to get out to do any damage inside the Chronosphere, it didn't matter. Like, this is the strength of the hero now. You don't need to do damage with Void. With Time Dilation and Chronosphere, you control the fights. It's why we see the Blink Ags Vlad's build over just like Mask of Madness Maelstrom, which used to be the play. So, really, really well played from the Snarf, showing off the power of a Chronosphere, and good Death Prophet ult too, and despite a good Phoenix Egg and a great hook to start off the fight, making it 4v5, it was still a victory for Thundercats, and the graph going right back up towards the Radiant side, and we're back to a completely even game. But I think it's again, Thundercats will win an even game. Just based on their heroes, I think Thundercats wins an even game. I think Byutiful.Doto need to be more ahead than they are, but Gyrocopter is going for his MK, or not MKB, sorry, Butterfly next. But I expect this Ursa or Void to go in MKB of their own, although again, I don't think they need it that badly. With they have a lot of magical damage and a lot of burst damage on their team. So it's not like they're reliant on right-clicking this guy to death. Ping's coming out. Pudge dropping a ward here, and on the prowl, Ursa overextended with no TP for 27 seconds. If he hides out, maybe they'll think he's gone and he can just walk away safely. Like Ursa's just gonna sit in the tree line hiding. Byutiful.Doto just assume he's gone, and they wouldn't be wrong, mostly. Kind of. In a way, they're not wrong. He's basically gone. TP cooling down, and he can TP to safety now if he wants. PA TPing down to bot lane, and probably just gonna farm. That's a lot of farm coming her way. Scarth Mage. Good. This is a good D ward. Oh boy. They need to deny again, I think if Thundercats keep vision on their side of the map, if they keep Beautiful's vision limited, then they're at an advantage. Because they rely on having vision to get good hooks, good Slardar jumps, and good PA jumps. So it's very, very important for Beautiful to maintain the vision advantage. And in fact, I think they should grab a gem just to clear up the map, and Thundercats should do the same. Just clear up the map of any wards and take fights with good smoke. And Death Prophet finishing her Octarine core. She has level 3 ultimate, and now even the Atos cooldown is very, very short with only a 5-second downtime on it. So huge item coming out for Death Prophet. And Glimmer Cape finished on the Oracle, which could be pretty beneficial. Drop it on like your Ursa or something. They're gonna be able to get him. He's able to blink away to safety though. I feel like he should have tried to open with the concussive shot, but they'd have to get the blink smash on Ursa. Oh, Oracle picked off. And his ult's still up, though. They did not expend the Oracle ult to try to save him. They do know this is boarded now, though. So, Thundercats aware of that, and I expect to see it dewarded in the near-ish future. Thundercats backing off, unfortunately unable to get anything at bot lane, and their Oracle is down. Roshan has respawned, both teams. This is Aegis and Cheese. So this one's a big one. And I think if Thundercats get it, they could close out the game with it. And if Beautiful.Doto get it, they can build a lead with it. Which is important, build a bigger lead with it, which is what they need to do. I think Beautiful can't really close out the game very soon. I think it'd probably take another 10-12 minutes before they do. Get their Butterfly, and basically have their PA and Gyro just do so much damage and be so hard to kill that Thundercats just can't win a fight. But Thundercats pretty much have all that they really, really need. Beautiful.Doto position near Roshan. There's a double damage rune right here. Are they smoking up? They have smoke, and are they going to go into the pit though, or are they going to go try to take a fight? So they know where they want to go, but Phoenix well positioned. Should Thundercats know what they want to go for though? They do go on the PA, but is there going to be any follow-up? Good hook to save the PA, and unfortunately, no real follow-up. The Mystic Flare comes out too late. Sniff Snarf is Oracle ulted, but I think going to die in the end. He does pop, but the Death Prophet doing so much damage, the BKB going to save him for a little while, and fortunately Mechanism comes out, and PA now in the danger zone, but so far this fight not at all what Thundercats want. They need to get kills in this, but it looks like they are going to get their wish, and one goes down, but Death Prophet getting blown up so quickly, and this Ursa had BKB available that whole fight and just chose not to pop it, which I think was a bit of a mistake, but Thundercats getting way too spread out in that fight and completely unable to just pick a hero they wanted to kill. Half of them kind of went over here, and the other half went for the PA, and then Ursa and Death Prophet both caught in the Chronosphere, not able to follow up at all. And then no Mystic Flare came right after PA blinked away, so poor spell usage and miscommunication from Thundercats costing them a pretty hefty amount of gold. That was a 4-5k gold swing from that fight plus Roshan. And now I believe PA has Aegis.
This should make my life easier.
I guess if you're Thundercats, you'd rather PA have Aegis than Gyro. I think if they can deal with the PA a little bit better than the Gyrocopter. But I'm not sure. They're both now PA has top of the net worth thanks to how that fight went out, sitting on 3k gold and a basher, so things are looking really grim for Thundercats, who just feel like they don't dish out enough damage in these fights. Chronosphere cooling down. Exorcism will be up shortly after the Death Prophet respawns, and now the game is going to slow down for Thundercats, and they're going to have to start getting farm back and getting some items up, or else they're not going to be able to win this game. Beautiful.Doto might finally have the lead that they needed to close to really win this game and pull ahead. Item progression on both teams. We've got Void going for an AC. It's quite a ways away. Not sure what Ursa's going for. Death Prophet could probably benefit from a BKB of her own. Actually, a Ghost Blade, a Ghost Scepter would be very good. Oracle progression is stalled, and and Skywrath has got nothing, and pretty much this entire game Skywrath has had nothing. So PA has Abyssal Blade just finished. I'm not sure. He might be going for a Shiva's Guard, saving up for the Mystic Staff. Pudge could probably go Blink next. Gyrocopter very close on the only about 1300 from the Butterfly, and Slardar going for a BKB. And once those items come out for Beautiful, then it's going to be really, really hard for Thundercats to actually take a fight without proper spell combos. Ancient's respawning in a few seconds, and PA wants to go in somewhere. Ursa's in the danger zone again, and he's TPing to safety though. Does spot them out with the ward, unfortunately not going to get caught this time. Thundercats look like they might want to try to defend this, but if they get spotted out early and one of the heroes gets picked off, it could just be the end of the game or the end of the fight. Death Prophet in a little bit of danger now, but Soul Siphon keeping her healthy, and Oracle doing a good job purging off both the amp damage and the fire spirits. Void really wants a good Chronosphere, but this is why I think he should probably get a Blink Dagger. First hit bash, is it going to be enough? Death Prop, good Chronosphere, catching 3, technically 3, but not quite enough damage. The Skywrath Mage is 200 leveled, and now Oracle's in trouble. The Oracle has already come out, and Death Prophet ult off cooldown, but she hasn't used it yet. And now just not enough damage coming out on the side of Thundercats. It just felt like, yeah, there just wasn't any damage. All these heroes looking very healthy. Void's not hitting very hard. Ursa's getting kited in all these fights. Death Prophet didn't have her ult, didn't pump her ult in that fight, and I really don't know what kind of difference that would have made. But just not nearly enough damage to deal with the massive, just the beef of all these heroes. The evasion, plus the cheese, plus Aegis, plus the mech. Pudge is just a brick wall. And soon BKB's coming out on Slaughter, and I really don't know if they're going to be able to defend this high ground push. In fact, I think Fortification is up, so they might just lose the T3, but I think this is lane of Brax. Pudge has Blink Dagger, and it's looking very, very grim for Thundercats. Yeah, a 12k gold lead built up in a matter of not even 10 minutes. Skywrath very bashed by the PA. Unfortunately, I think with Beautiful so ahead and just a quick jump, Mystic Flare doing no damage, Void getting popped instantly, then just call GG, and just a couple poor fights from Beautiful cost Thundercats the game. They did have a lead for a while, but once the lineup of Beautiful gets ahead, there's just no stopping it. Greedy lineups like that. So the idea of picking a greedy lineup is like, we're going to get more than them and get a lead, and when we get a lead, we're going to win. And that's what happened. That's really the long and short of it is, Beautiful.Doto managed to build their lead. Their Gyrocopter played exceptionally well. I think the Slardar had an amazing game too with good stuns, and Phoenix had several good eggs, but really good, valiant effort from Thundercats. They definitely didn't let that go easy, and I'm excited for Game 2. Alright, so we're waiting on Game 2 coming up, and it shouldn't take too much longer now, I don't think. Probably have a short break, and let me see if the lobby is up. Lobby's not quite up yet.